Monday Night Raw Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of Monday Night Raw, Smackdown, and or PLEs. And I thought it'd be fun if we let ChatGPT give us a hot take on something. Let's see, press that. ChatGPT, give me a hot take on something. All right, here's your hot take for you. Hot take, Triple H has actually overcorrected WWE's booking. Everyone's been praising the long-term booking in quotations, but we've hit a point where feuds drag too long, swerves feel forced, and moments get stretched out until the crowd stops caring. Wrestling is supposed to be unpredictable chaos sometimes, not prestige TV with a headlock. I'm not even joking. Oh my god, I think I've been talking to ChatGPT too much. Alright, so from a human, I think, we got Yash Raj Pal. This version, I butchered your name, I apologize. This version of Becky Lynch has me hooked. She's funny, she's ironic, she's a workhorse, she's got a title, she's got a hot husband, and it's not me saying it, it's Sports Illustrated saying it. Oh my god, whenever she says she has a hot husband, or that Sports Illustrated says she's so great, I laugh so hard. I am loving, I'm with you, I am hooked. This Becky Lynch is starting to remind me of like a Chris Jericho, and she can reinvent herself and just get the littlest things over. Oh my gosh, she is hilarious right now. Tiz Mickey says, I really like the Becky Punk segment. I'm hoping this will actually be good storyline because it's desperately needed. You and Chat GPT think the same thing. Also, I'm super confused by the brand split. Is Jimmy on Raw now? Why did we move Sammy to SmackDown if it seems there might be a Bloodline reunion? Who knows? Up is down, down is up. Triple H, he's just throwing things against the wall sometimes to see what sticks. But this Becky Lynch thing, yes, she is sticking. And Come At Meow says, Becky is the greatest female pro wrestler in the history of WWE. Charlotte is there, but can she tap into this type of work that Becky does? Yeah, you're absolutely right. And he says this is coming from somebody who preferred Molly, Holly, and Ivory over Trish and Lita. So yeah, you know what? I'm thinking I'm about to say it. I'm about to say it. Becky Lynch is the GOAT. And I don't just mean, the GOAT because we all just throw that name around, the term around. I really think that she might, at this point, be the greatest female talent of all time. She's a great wrestler. She's a great character. She reinvents herself. She's great on the mic. If you can go toe-to-toe with CM Punk, that is something. That is something. And yeah, CM Punk held back a little, but then he started going into it. Becky didn't flinch. She did not flinch. Her character work is impeccable. Plus, she has that WrestleMania. She has the pedigree. She has the resume. She has the resume to back it up. Multi-time champion, headlining WrestleMania, hot husband, Sports Illustrated. You get what I'm saying? I agree. At this point, who do you think is better than Becky Lynch? Try to be very impartial here. Like, look at what she's accomplished and what she can do. If you think someone is better than her, put in the comments below and tell me why. Bonus points for you by doing that. You're going to enter the contest to win this belt right here on my shoulder. This is the $1 million belt because everybody's got a prize. Ha 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 for the $1 million man. You can win it. All you got to do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and you can win said belt right here. I'm not going to tell you that these diamonds are real, but I'm also not going to tell you that they're not real. I don't know. Maybe you're going to be in for a surprise. Probably not, but all right, let's get some more hot takes. Goat Buggy says, I really don't know why Asuka is being so controlling as a friend out of nowhere. Well, I guess it did kind of creep up because she saw, it wasn't exactly out of nowhere because she saw that Io was hanging out with Rhea more, and then she just got jealous, and now it's kind of just exploded, and she's just so jealous. And I gotta say, I've been very harsh on this storyline, but I've come around full circle. I'm in love with Asuka saying, no, you can't be friends with anybody. This ridiculous high school storyline has won me over because now it has gone from this like really childish high school storyline to this over the top high school storyline, and now I'm all for it because that's what wrestling is. Take a storyline, go over the top with it, and Asuka's doing it so good. She is performing so good, whether it's her crashing out or her pretending to be nice, but her eyes are bugging out. I'm here for it. I'm loving it. I am on board. Asuka, make sure nobody is Io's friend. Renee Bullock says, I am not one for hitting women, but dang, Becky needed a good slap. AJ Lee, defend your husband. I think that's the motivation. I am not risking getting canceled, so I'm not talking about your first sentence, but AJ Lee, defend your husband. I think that's where we're headed. Najib says, I don't want to be the guy to say AJ is coming back, but CM Punk confirmed that Becky will regret it, and that only means AJ is coming back. Well, we did have Punk and Rhea, they were talking. Nikki Bella and Becky, they were in a feud, and Bayley on Twitter, she commented that she could help. So, there are other options, but let's be real here. All signs are pointing to AJ Lee. He was even like, we're in Chicago next week? Cool. So, if it's not AJ Lee, people are going to riot. We're going to riot. I'm going to be one of those. I'm going to be people. We're rioting. We're rioting. Let's riot. Riot! Let's burn, Pookie, let's burn this down. iCutie says, I need CM Punk to turn heel one last time and have a good run for a year or two before he hangs up his boots. We're going to get a heel. We're going to get a heel CM Punk. They're stretching it out, though. They're stretching it out. I think we get a heel Cody Rhodes first and then a CM Punk. But maybe we get CM Punk first. Either way, they're stretching out. They're getting as much as they can out of a face CM Punk because it's hard for a face to get over. So we'll get that. We'll get the heel Punk. We have to get the heel Punk. Heel Punk, so much better than face Punk. Seth Rollins says, I liked today's Jay promo until Braun and Braun interrupted. Hate the Vision closing every show. That's ironic considering your name. But yeah, it was kind of like paint by numbers once it was like, oh well, looks like we're gonna have a tag team match, playa. But I will say, Jey Uso coming through the crowd, dressed all in black, not doing the repeat, the encore, getting in LA Knight's face saying, I come from dirt. Like, that was the right-hand man of Jey. For the last, 3 hot takes, I've been saying, this Jey's a little different. This is the right-hand man of the bloodline, and the only thing is, he still has to do yeet because, well, it's a cash cow. You can't just, would you like $1 million in sales, Jey Uso? Nah, I'm good. Nah, I think, he's like, I'll take the $1 million, but I'm not going to eat as much as I once did. And you know what? I think it's going to benefit him. This Jey Uso is way more interesting than just yeet, 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 Jey Uso. FMJ, hey, what's up? Haven't seen you in a minute. Anything short of AJ Lee returning to help Punk, whether it's a mixed tag or to stop Becky from interfering in a match, will just be an extreme letdown. Holy cow, it would. I already said we're gonna riot, but the crazy thing is, if they don't produce AJ Lee at this point, there's gonna be internet critics that will be like, well, they never said they were going to, so that's your fault for getting your expectations up. And while, yeah, that sounds true, no, I will not accept that because they are literally leading us down a path where it has to be AJ Lee. So if it's not, I will call shenanigans on WWE for this. Donatello Leonardo, it took them way too long, but I'm glad that they're finally booking the Vision to be a dominant heel faction like they should be. That said, I worry that adding Becky into the main event scene, despite still being the IC champ, could risk the women's world title becoming overshadowed. Yeah, it's going to be overshadowed. I mean, heck, they didn't even let Stephanie Fakir, the #1 contender, she's not even really fought since what? Since Evolution. And Io Sky, well, if she wins, what did they do when she won the title last time? They literally didn't have her defend it from WrestleMania all the way till Evolution. So yeah, I think Naomi is the only personality that could make the world title still relevant with a Becky Lynch on the same show, because nobody would overshadow Naomi, and nobody's going to overshadow Becky. But without Naomi there, that world title definitely going to be second prize on Raw. He also says the easy answer is Becky 2 belts, but if you do that, then what was the point of revamping Bayley? Well, honestly, yeah, Bayley actually might. Depending on what her character is, Bayley might be able to stand toe-to-toe with the personality that is Becky Lynch. But that said, she's not in the match, and it's going to be the next champ is either Io or Stephanie. We shall see. Nada says the Street Profits' disagreement yesterday would have worked with Uso and LA Knight tonight, not an established tag team. Yeah, because the Street Profits on Clash in Paris, suddenly they were like, no, I'm tagging in. They should have did that. All the dissension that they were having with the Street Profits, an established tag team, just throw that onto a not established tag team who are already arguing with each other. That's how you do it. Can they get along? Will they coexist? Well, they gotta have some disagreements so we can buy into that. Edward O'Banner, here's a hot take. Nikki Bella, not AJ Lee, should team up with CM Punk. We riot if that happens. Bishop Marley says, thank God for the New Day. Ever since the New Day have stopped trying to be serious heels and gone back to their comedic roots, they have been gold. I absolutely agree with you, Bishop. They are so much money. He also says that it's too bad that their segments are regulated to the commercials. Well, if you live in Canada like me, or have a VPN like Stephanie McMahon says you should to watch WWE products on Netflix, well, then you don't have to watch commercials and you could see the New Day and their promos. But unfortunately, in the United States, where money reigns supreme over everything, that you don't get to see the New Day promos. And the sad thing about that is there's going to be like one or two people out there that is just like, wait a minute, did you just say something bad about America? Unsubscribe. Don't worry. I say bad things about Canada too. They're beavers, too small. Anyways, gosh, where do these thoughts come from? Anyways, yeah, the New Day had a very funny promo tonight where they had a funeral. They held a funeral for the tag team division, and it was everything. It was everything. Go out of your way to find it. For real. Just search New Day funeral for tag team division. It's good stuff, and why they did it, I have no idea, because once the American TV got back on, they started promoting fake boxing. I don't want to see fake boxing promos. I want to see funerals for tag team divisions. Jonathan Elliott says these non-American event times are really throwing me off. Don't worry, this was the last one until January. But then you're gonna be really thrown off because it seemed like there was 3 or 4 weeks. But right now you can go back to 8 p.m. Damian King, AJ Styles should have his last match in France. Yeah, you're probably right. Woo, they love AJ Styles in France. And man, that was so cool. If you did not see it, go back and look. Just the crowd for 5 or 6 minutes just cheering and singing the praises of AJ Styles. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy in WWE. We got Jimbo Slice also saying France deserves a WrestleMania. I agree. I'm going to call it also. We said Becky's the GOAT of the female division. I'm going to say France is the GOAT of the WWE audience. I thought Puerto Rico had it, but France, woo boy, they show up and they are rowdy. And I would much rather France get a WrestleMania than another stint in Vegas. Forget about it. Give it to France. RKO says, it seems better now that the Brons are somewhat isolating themselves from Rollins because it's making them more valuable than just mindless bots to Seth Rollins. I agree. I do agree. I wish they would have had some interaction, but I do agree that I like them kind of on their own while still with Seth, because because, hey, Randy would have his own feuds in Evolution, and Batista, Batista and Ric Flair would too. Then I like how good they made them tonight, but Becky is the real talk tonight. Holy crap, she went there and grilled Punk on the mic. It seems like AJ is coming back, confirmed. I can't wait. Light it up. Booker Man TT JC says AJ losing to Dom sets up one of two things. AJ versus Grande feud, and AJ helps Vikingo again and faces Dom in a cage at WrestlePalooza. Ooh, a cage match. Yes. I like that. Also, if AJ Lee really doesn't want to come back, they can pair Punk with Nikki or Rhea. I prefer Rhea for the IC title. That's what I said earlier, but I'm still rioting. Do not try to talk me out of this riot. No, AJ Lee, we riot. Martin Broey, are we going to have our first ever mixed gender War Games match at Survivor Series? Interesting. That is a possibility, though. But for AJ Lee to come back after like 10 years and go right into War Games, that might be a little much. Nana23 says, I don't want the Usos to get back together. I hope the Bloodline returns or a new version of it without the Usos being an actual tag team. So he doesn't mind Jimmy and Jay in a faction, just not together. He wants them to be single stars. I understand that. Why I think that they're being so quickly put together here is because in 2 weeks, we're running another PLE WrestlePalooza to celebrate WWE charging $30 a month for ESPN in the United States, and to counter-program AEW, who aren't competition, and yet we're creating wrestling fatigue with our audience because we're just trying to destroy them. So there's only 2 weeks to build something for Braun and Bronson, so I think it's let's hotshot the Usos together. This will probably be a one and done. I don't see them getting, staying together for the tag titles. Nada also says that CM Punk should have put Becky to sleep. I don't even like Punk. I'm a Seth guy. Jimbo Slice says, I hope the Seth and Becky detour in the Vision storyline doesn't mean that the Brons are now taking a back seat. I don't want to see either of them stuck in pointless tag feuds anymore. They're going to be stuck in the Uso tag feud. Let's see what happens after that. It does seem like Bron Breakker and Roman are going to be paired together, but Roman's going to be gone for at least a month filming. So, let's see what happens. I agree, though. I don't want them to be totally attached at the hip in a tag team, though. I want them to be single stars. Mario, though, says the Usos getting back together for a tag team title run could save the Raw tag team division. Yeah, it's a darned if you do, darned if you don't situation, because it's they would be helpful to the tag team division, and it would give a good bump up for the New Day to beat the Usos. I would like that. Could you imagine this version of the Usos versus this version of the New Day? I kind of want that now. I take it all back. That one hot take. I'm literally one hot take away from what I just said, but I'm taking it all back. Now I want the Usos to win the tag title because I want the New Day to beat the Usos for the tag title. Book that. Alfonso Passion says even the War Raiders were over. LOL. Yeah, the French. Holy cow. If they will cheer the War Raiders, then they'll cheer anything. Hey, let's have dangle some keys in the middle of the ring, and the French people will be like, keys. Eddie Bronski. We got real take here. Match of the night, Dom versus Styles. Yeah, that was a good match. I wish AJ Styles would have won, but I understand why he didn't. But he should have won in France. I wish they should have just let him win for 1 week. They could have gave it back to him next week. And then we got promo of the night, Punk versus Hogan. I think that's a shot at, Becky Hogan. You know what, though? Becky Hogan, she literally came back and was like, you say I'm going to hold people down? I'm going to hold people down. she embraced that part of the fans backlash at her, and I think she's doing a great job with it. Alfonso Passion says, my boy Penta, hope he becomes IC champion or something, because he was in the main event, and now this, his Zero Fear character can work with everyone, and even he is more of an underdog than Sammy. Sammy's not an underdog. Sammy's like an overdog. Let's just call him overdog from now on. But yeah, Penta, you know, maybe it's karma because, you know, he attacked Xavier Woods in his big hat while Xavier was mourning the loss of the tag team division. I get what you're saying, though. They need to give him like a singles feud, or bring in Rey Fenix, and we can have the Luchas versus the New Day. Antoine says the Vision versus Jay and Roman is a story that is setting up Fatu and Breakker. Maybe, I mean, Fatu Breakker's probably actually like a WrestleMania 43 or 44 main event, to be honest with you. Comic Head says the Becky Punk segment was awesome. It really did feel fresh. I've never seen something quite like that before. I haven't either. I was worried that there wouldn't be no follow-up. It was just a moment. We were just having a cool little moment that Triple H likes to book. And no, he followed through. That was good. It was good. I have been kind of harsh on Triple H lately, but I want to give credit where credit is due. Triple H, great job these last 2 nights. Let's carry it over to SmackDown, and those are your hot takes for Monday Night Raw. I appreciate every single one of you. Boys, girls, have yourselves a great day.